Everybody, happy Wednesday. We made more than half the week, which is awesome, and more than half the month. Go us. How's everybody doing? Happy hour. We're going to be welcoming Tara Locklear, and she's going to be talking to us about her work, her process, give us some really cool, oh, here she is. Hey, some cool behind the scenes. Here she is. Let's add her in. And a little tour of her studio as well. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. This is so fun. I hope everyone has a glass of wine. I'm ready. I'm ready and adorned for you. Yes, I wore all, thank you, Jessie. I wore all my fun stuff. I'm wearing
you
my
look
Tara.
So
this is the
cute.
first Tara I ever bought from you.
Ah, yay!
Right?
Oh my God, they go so perfect with that necklace.
This is Leah Ginsburg, one of our other friends from Israel.
Yeah.
Hi, Steven. This is a good friend from Israel, Leah Ginsburg. Yeah. She is so amazing, you guys.
Yes.
She's in Vogue. She's also a lovely person. And then some Jillian Moore.
Nice. All the lovelies. I love all the ladies.
This
so
is some
good.
Scottish person too, which is, I don't remember her name. Her name is Hannah probably. I bought it at ACC when the international thing was Scotland that year.
Yes.
You remember that?
About that year we were in Baltimore, right?
Mm-hmm. That's I got this.
Yep.
I love.
Yes.
I think I definitely curated this for you.
Well, it's like I remember when we met because that was in 2013 when you bought those earrings for me because you actually were one of the first people to support my work.
Oh, yes.
So, and that was the original OG cast cement work that I used to do.
Yeah, this is okay. I have to show you guys because I'm always a supporter of students and young emerging artists, and I love celebrating their work, and especially if they're putting themselves out there. When being at a show is a big deal and scary and a whole thing. And I remember we ended up chatting because of Bob, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got to meet your lovely husband, and you guys.
Yeah,
I was just captured by these.
Yep.
And they're cement.
They're cast cement, and that hematite ball chain is so you. And so I remember that collection very vividly. And
light. I really like that this is such a big look. And you guys can see it has such a fun, faceted gem, which is cool because this is really reflective of your current work as well.
So in the very beginning, my work, my signature collection, the Pop Rocks collection, is all about what is the perception of a stone. And so what that meant for me. And so it was so interesting to go down, with the help of Bob and being in school and being influenced to just try so many things, cast cement. And my mentor, Jim Cotter, really helped me along with learning what it meant to play. That was the first time I really just played.
Oh, but and you did a bunch of you've done, I feel like you've experienced. What's cool though is each time you are taking these different materials, there's still something that's a thread of you in the design.
Thank you. Thanks.
Because this I see still relation to let's show people some of your current work.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about specifically, hi Risa, today was about kind of my journey with the circle. I kind of wear these hoops all the time, but one of the things that Megan and I wanted to talk about was something specific going on right now. And right now the circle is really big and has been since about 2018 for me. And I've been dissecting it and researching it and all the iterations of what does a circle really mean. And so what I brought was a curated view with a board, particularly Megan, I figured you would like.
Yes. So this is what your pieces are made of. Just for everybody who doesn't know Tara, Tara makes really amazing jewelry from broken skateboards, and she facets them into these gem-like designs.
So I brought a few. This one is a Hello Kitty board that I have never gotten before. And I know they...
Ooh, how are we doing here?
So I also brought the new colors I just got in. So this really beautiful red orange makes me always think of Laura Wood. And it also makes me think right here, this really bright, vibrant pink. With that carrot, yes.
I put color on you.
I know. It's totally fortuitous that we both had the pink out. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit about where the circle has gone.
Ooh, look at all this. Okay, I love when you show us stuff.
So like one of the things that I really, like to do when I go to shows, and since we can't do that anymore because we don't have shows right now, is really talk about the journey of where you've been working in your studio practice. And since 2018, when I talk about dissecting the circle, it's because I didn't really love the circle. And, I wanted to understand
I'm
why.
like, for shame. I'm a circle girl.
I know.
I started my career with circles only,
And so this is kind of a journey of where the circle has gone throughout the past couple of years. And
I'm really liking the idea of the half circle and what that references.
Right. So this is the diameter. And so it was the math of the diameter. This is going to be the math of a chord cut, which is any linear cut of a circle that takes up a third. And, and then you start getting into the 3/4 views. And then you start getting into the circle in the form of wire and how that interprets with the geometric of the square.
For me, I love the mix of shapes. I think there's something very elegant with that.
Yeah, I really
scale and proportion too, because you're using this large open work piece that's very light feeling with this little cute bauble of copper color.
And it's nice because particularly with this piece, you can actually it's so airy and lightweight, and it just swings a little, but it gives you that profile.
Oh, okay, so that side view is amazing. Wait, so can you show me a little bit? How is that set onto there? Is that sterling that comes down there?
Yes.
To set the little cube?
All of these are hand fabricated sterling out of wire and tube. And then it has 2 feet that come into the center, and it's mounted. And then my hallmark is mounted on the bottom.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. So that's very, very beautiful. I love that detail. I love that detail.
And same thing on the U. So then you get into almost like a pill shape, and it starts getting you the same. It's got the 2 feet on the inside. This has the flat wire profile because I wanted to mimic the lines of the board. And then you get again into the hallmark that's then set. It's on this one. So I only set it on
I think the flat plane works better also with the rectangle because you catch the light really nicely also on the side.
Right. And so I really wanted to have that duality of line from the skateboard into the wire. Same thing when you start getting into the circle. I wanted it to have a line drawing feeling. And we talked about, and this is the new prototype for the dime hoop.
Ooh, okay. I've never seen. What is this? This is so cute. How does that sit on your ear?
So I'm going to turn the phone around and set
because I want to see.
Can
you try some stuff on for us?
Yeah.
Please.
So hold on a second. Let me get my phone back. Here we go. So this particular design was something after working in these hoops. Where'd they go? My classic hoops, actually, what I've been wearing. This is a very signature classic hoop. And so I wanted to really investigate the whole circle like we talked about, just the diameter. And so then I was like, how could I make that into its own form? So then I took the same shape, that crescent arc, and then I created a wire setting for it. And I just wanted it to kind of mimic, watch, I cannot do this because you're.
I know, I'm watching. It's always, right? Murphy's Law.
I know, I do this in front of clients and I'm just like, oh. It's not working.
The best is having to put it in someone's ear to help them.
I know.
As a jeweler, we've all done this. It's an extra special experience.
So here, and it just clamps. It's very.
I'm on Tara's moisturizing regime. Everybody, this woman taught me to use the serum.
So I definitely use lots of serums every day.
A lot. She has a case of serums.
So then, and you can kind of see. I like the way
it sits very nice high up on your ear.
And it actually has really great movement. So when I really played around with this, like I said, it's a prototype. So I wanted to see how they wear, how they feel, how are they going to move, how does the shape feel on the face? Because it's really important for me when I'm designing to design the shape of a face. Everybody's face is different, and the math of everyone's face is different. And so universal math on my earrings, I always like to work in eighths. So it's either an eighth or 3/8 or 5/8. And I find that to be a lot more forgiving than a half inch.
Oh, really? Well, interesting. Okay.
They're more of a block. If you think of a half inch and a full inch, right? That's a full square sometimes.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if you think of like a 5/8, a 3/8, or an 8, it's like a slender cut.
I really like that because you're almost approximating thirds.
Correct.
In some ways, you're like,
yeah.
I like that because I love the idea of thirds.
Yeah, and so
And
I like anything that has to do with the prime, and and I feel like those numbers throw everything. My asymmetry is in my math, and it's not always definitely like in the physicality of the work. And so I like that hidden little secret because it's something that
I feel that's very carpentry woodworker as well.
It
like
is.
very much measure twice, cut once.
Oh yes.
Yeah, which
and
you also are a wood. You're not only doing the metal work, you're also doing the woodwork.
Yeah, because the thing about when I was taught woodworking and metalsmithing, it was at the same time. And one of my metalsmith instructors, because I did go to a university, East Carolina, Tim LeJour was a woodworker, a blacksmith, and a silver and goldsmith. And so when he taught us how to, I know he did quite a few.
A lot of materials.
Okay. Very Renaissance.
Different processes, yes.
And so, but one of the things that he talked about was he cross-pollinated all those practices in the way that he fabricated metal. And so it really stuck with me. And so, for example, if I'm soldering a post to an earring, hi Sarah, it definitely makes me think about countersinking into wood. I countersink into metal. So it's like I do a lot of those different
which is so evident in those. Can you try those circle ones on with the little cube that we were looking at earlier?
Yeah.
Because those are really, I think those we're going to have, these have this look, right? Like a hoop. Those have more this, they sit more like this. And I think that's a different.
Yeah. And they're front facing. So like with these, I always tell my customers, you hold the wire. Sterling silver, even though it's been hardened.
No, I know sterling is still everybody. Sterling gets soft and
we all throw our jewelry in our purse, don't we?
Oh,
or our backpack. So there you go.
Very, very guilty. Very guilty of this.
Me too.
Oh, I love seeing it on because I think the proportion's really beautiful on your ear. It's a beautiful size too.
Airy they are. You know, I have to kind of, I call this the Terra hoop. This is like a big 3-inch, like day runner for me. I love these, but not everybody likes that. So
that's hard. That's actually hard for me. And I'm a big earring person, but I can't do big hoops because my ears are flat to my head.
No, I get it. So that's why I force myself.
This I could do though. This would look, this I can go big front facing and it works great.
Yeah, and I think that, again, it goes back to making sure I try to accommodate all face sizes. I try to make sure everybody finds their fit, that it's not just based on me, because if it were the fact I'm 5'1" and kind of round, so that's not the same for everybody.
Not a tall person. You're petite, but you have big personality, and your clothes have big personality too in a lot of ways. You wear a lot of oversized things, like me, and think about you wear really interesting geometric shaped clothing. Yes. You like boxy? Yes. A jumper. There's many Ilana Cone.
Yes.
Jumper.
I love Ilana Cone. I actually buy a lot of menswear and I have it altered to fit me. So I buy a lot from Questlove has a OK Player shop. I buy a lot of t-shirts and sweatshirts from OK Player. So and then I alter them to fit me. And then I also mix women and men's together, and my tailor and I work a lot together to make sure everything fits my hemlines. And
I love it. You're very particular, but in all the proportion work. This is the same thing that you do to your clothes, you do to your jewelry.
Correct. So it's kind of, I curate and alter, and it's kind of once you start altering materials to give them a new life and a new identity, it's kind of interesting because I look at everything else like that. I look at my clothes like that when I go to a store. I look at when we put up cabinets in the kitchen or in the bedroom. I look at wood and re-altering things we have. So it's just, I think your mind just automatically switches. Yeah,
you've trained yourself. This is a training. This is a design training. Yes.
It gives me a lot of joy because then it makes me think and it makes me process and it makes me wonder and have curiosity all the time.
And I feel like once you arrive at it, you're also more comfortable because you've created something for yourself that actually fits you better.
Right. And
I feel like that happens a lot we make such custom jewelry, right? That We make such custom jewelry that you're all, I feel like I'm altering things constantly for my
Yeah.
customers.
Right.
And I know you do
You
too,
do
like
it on the
making
fly.
special sizes, and that's why you have all these, this size, this size, this.
Right.
Wait, show us some more. I like this. I'm making you dress up.
I was getting my beverage ready.
Okay. Ooh, what's that?
So this is Bravazzi. This is what I call like a nice fuzzy day drink.
Okay.
It's kind of like a alcohol infused San Pellegrino.
It's that seltzer, that hard seltzer everyone's talking about.
Yeah. So cheers.
Oh, cheers. Okay, I'm just doing Pinot Grigio. But I haven't even ventured into that.
It's really light and bubbly.
Okay.
So it's like
I like lemon sparkly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, show me.
So one of the things that I'm very excited to talk about, and I know you and I have kind of talked a little bit about it.
Ooh, okay. This is like new for me too, you guys. News for me.
Yeah. So one of the things that Megan and I have talked, because we talk a lot outside of just here, you know, we have our meetings. Yes, Martha, this is a Thomas Campbell cup.
Oh, gorgeous.
I love Thomas
I
Campbell.
love that. I need more artisanal cups. I only have beautiful coffee mugs. I don't have the beautiful glassware yet. I don't trust myself right now.
Well, the nice thing about this, it's stainless, so it won't break.
And I bet it tastes nice.
Keeps all your cold drinks cold.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
So, but one of the things that Megan and I talked about was, you know, not being able to have craft shows and not being able to take the things that we spend all season or all winter or whatever making that's new and releasing new designs at the shows. And I've been wanting to do something that really integrated my loyalty to my customers and, you know, something that I really am passionate about. And I finally decided that I am going to do my own releases online.
Oh, hello, Supreme. Who are you?
So one of the things,
I love this.
So one of the things on, you know, my business this is my 7-year anniversary this year. Congrats. And I wanted to also do something for 7 because 7 is my lucky number. I played sports. I was always number 7. It was my dad's race car. I'm a go-kart racing number, you know, so it was always something that was really important to me. And so I finally decided that, you know, why wait for those, you know, why just do releases at a craft show, right? Why just bring new work only to places that not everybody go? And, you know, and why not bring it online to your virtual community that everybody has an accessibility to right away? Mm-hmm. So one of the things starting May 1st, you guys will all get the first sneak peek. I am going to be releasing the very first ever first release drop. Okay. And it will actually go online on May 7th. And it'll start.
You're going to be like showing pictures on May 1st to tease us?
So starting May 1st, you'll start to see the first images and sneak peeks of all the colors. It's going to be 7 designs. It's going to be 7 colorways and 7 variations. And they're all going to be numbered. And they're all going to be listed online with special packaging. And so I'm really excited.
So 7 designs, 7 colors, 7
variations.
So is that, how many pieces is this total?
It's 7 pieces.
7 pieces.
7
This
pieces.
is it.
That's it.
And any category?
So the first release that goes out on May 1st is going to be the online launch of the Triple Dime Dangles.
Oh, yes. And so very on trend.
Yeah. Love. So this is the first one idea of a colorway. It may or may not be there, but this is going to be the actual design. And I'll put it on for you.
Basically, you have the designs, but because of the skateboard, the way you're using the material and how you're sourcing it, each piece is really unique. You can't necessarily, they're not always, they're never going to be the same.
Right. So all the work is actually one of a kind, no matter what, because you can't repeat, like what you said, the skateboards, the colorways, the markings. But this actually design has never been sold online. Mm-hmm. On my website. I've only ever made 3 prototypes that have gone out in the world. I always do that when I make work. I'll make 2 new designs for a show just to kind of see how they do and test the market. And then if they do really well, then I actually put them into production because it doesn't always go into the collection.
Oh, I mean, I have so many of those.
Right. We all do. And what's nice about it is it gives you the idea to play and actually hear what people have to say. Mm-hmm. And so I was really thrilled with this iteration.
Okay, can you show us a little, I love this. I love the top part because it has the sterling silver kind of hinge hardware feel on top.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
nice.
then
And
I
it
love
moves
the
really
way it
nice.
swings.
Yeah. So those are posts, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And there's going to be a new post design as well, which is actually, I'll show you, it's in progress right now. So
Because what was wrong with the old post?
there's going to be two post versions. Yeah.
Okay.
So within those 7 designs, 3 will have one way, 4 will have another. There'll be different colors. I am going to be doing it out of the Hello Kitty board. One of them will be.
Ooh.
Yep. And so I totally.
Ooh. Okay. The Hello Kitty board is amazing. Yes.
So,
Okay.
and then this is the other positioning.
Ooh, I love the color of this. I love when you do the layouts before things are even made. You just have all these parts what is this?
This will give you another. And so it'll kind of give you, it's got a little.
I called it.
Yeah. And so these are unfinished. They're not like oiled or, and finished or hallmarked. But
it's cool to see them like this, though, and how you kind of use them like puzzle pieces to design in a way.
Yeah,
I feel like
it is.
you're playing with a puzzle all the time.
It's like playing chess a lot on my studio bench. And then, so one of the things about doing it that way is I've discovered, I'm like, oh, I could do this variation and put it together this way. And I actually am going to be blending skateboards. So there might be a couple ombre ones, and there might be a couple like different materiality ones. And so so that's what's so special about the 7. That they'll all be very unique to the first release that goes online.
Did you lose me?
I lost you, but I
don't know why. Oh, here.
Are you there? There you are.
I don't know. There's my wall, you guys. Cool. I was trying to say hi to everybody. Hi. I was like trying to do the wave thing. It's too much to do that. Okay, hi, everybody.
So it's nice because I can play now with the 7. And I can, and the thing is though, no 2 ways will ever be the same. And so
are you thinking about like in the future, are you thinking about different categories as well?
Yes.
Are you thinking about, okay.
Yeah. So this is just the first, May 1st, and I love that. And it'll be, all the images will go through May 7th, and then the collection will go live May 7th online.
Oh, I love this. This is very Supreme-y.
Well, I do like Supreme.
Who doesn't? They're brilliant.
It's like, hello.
Yes.
But it's also just, I wanted to do something that let everybody know that they had the opportunity to have it first. And that, you don't have to go to a craft show, and you don't have to, live here in Wake County, and you can be anywhere in the United States or international for that matter. And you could actually see it, and there'll be video, and they'll be able to play, like I'll be wearing it, and I'll be showing a lot of that.
I totally agree. Having the component part is like, yeah, I'm missing that because I usually have a bunch of them on my desk that I play with.
It is. It's true. I feel like, like Ashley just said in the comments, it's like, I'm a rule follower, just like I love like structured clothing. I love structured findings that I create, like Megan. Megan and I share that affinity. And I love
findings are like my
findings are
nerding out on that stuff is like,
yes.
Okay, I literally was like organizing my findings. These are my like the findings. Some of the findings I make.
Yes.
It's like I'm like hoarding them, like my pretty findings, because until I can solder again. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh my God. So Megan, you're gonna laugh when I show you this.
Hoarding. There's drawers of that because this is like oh yes, exactly. Thank you. If you know, you know. This is how we.
Look,
I have them literally over this whole work area.
Yeah. Totally.
It's the basis for everything, right?
Yes, they do.
And you blend this with the skateboards.
So yeah, so each series in the 2 collections, they have their own vernacular findings that are designed for that specifically. So like for the circle collection, they only are allowed to have 1 finding if it's a post. They're only allowed to have 1 class. And it's because I feel like it creates continuity throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
And then it also
Wait, are you going to show, wait, before we do this, you were going to show us this new post.
The new post, it's the same post that I've had. And I'm actually going to be using it where, maybe it's right here.
You tempted us with that. I'm like, I'm not going to let that go because I want to know how that looks compared to the other post.
Yes.
I need to see it to understand this.
So I've been using a very classic bar post in my design since the inception of the collection, the Pop Rocks collection. So this is the U post is what I call this. This is a U bar.
And then you have the tube.
And then there's going to be the tube.
Oh, love. And the tube how is that going to work differently?
So the way the tube would work is like, so for these, the tube would be used in this so that it can cascade down in reverse. So like anything that goes up.
You're going to have a whole tube down the back?
No. It gets mounted in a tube with the same hinge system. But you can see one gets a flat top and one gets a pin top. And so for me, it's a great way, that same math, because everything is a 1/4 inch down from the ear. And so everything will actually have, and then it becomes very minimal for the piece itself.
I love that. And different looks. It has a different look. It is different.
And I
can almost see that. I can see it. Okay, this is how I would think. So, I would have that go down and then have it rivet and have the whole thing twist.
Right. And so like this is the other color iterations. These are the backs.
What's that hot pink? It's so cute.
Oh,
it's so
green.
cute.
And
it's
then
like watermelon-y.
It's a lemon. And then this one is a red and blue.
Ooh, with that little bit. How did you get that orange kind
of
color?
That's the way the skateboards are made.
Is it a different wood? Okay, show us. Go back to that. What? Too fast. It's like candy. It's so pretty.
I always think it looks like candy myself. So one of the things that skateboards are 7 layers of maple veneer, and that they're already dyed. So a lot of times when you look at a skateboard company, they're pretty well known for the way their colored laminates are. And so that a lot of companies use aniline dyes. It's been around for about 100 years. And then everything is a water-soluble glue, so it's very eco-friendly. And so when you start looking and cutting into the boards, you really don't see the color until they get cut.
The sides are amazing.
Right. Which is why I originally started faceting my work, because I wanted to understand what was the preciousness of stones and gems, and why do we revere them that way, and why are they cut the way that they're cut. So the first collection, the Pop Rocks collection, talks a lot about that in its own conversation in scale, size, and cut. And so when you get into the configuration collection, which is all about linear math and form, those cuts are taken away and then it just becomes a shape.
I like this. I like the comparison to a faceted gemstone, especially since by creating the facets, you're giving it more depth. And then you're also you're giving it more depth, but you're also showing the whole process of how the skateboard is made, which gives a lot more, I think it gives a lot more information that people don't see. I like that.
Well, and two, if you look at the size of these, how beat up they are, you're never really going to see the colors. And so it's like they really come to life when you start cutting them and get on the inside. That. I'll show you particularly on my design table in the wood shop.
Okay, like what you guys, hello, what is all this? It's okay, well, I'm like, we need to see like every single bin. I'm like selfishly. Oh my god. Did you see that over there on the left? Oh my god. Okay.
So if you start, if you start looking at them, you know, when you start cutting into them, you can see all the colorways. Like you would never know how vibrant that is until you get on the inside.
You've also polished it a bit too, so you're bringing the color up, and then you're putting a veneer. You're not putting a veneer. You're putting polish on them usually.
No, these are all oil sealed. So I use a linseed oil, which a lot of people, if you paint, you definitely see all of that with linseed. I like linseed oil because it ages over time with your natural oils on your skin, and I also like the fact that it's definitely skin friendly. The reason I use oil is because I don't want anything like a shellac or a lacquer to take away the natural beauty of the wood.
Yeah, I like that. I also wouldn't, I don't think I'd like the feel. I like the feel of the wood on my skin. I don't like the feel of necessarily veneer.
Right.
and the oil enhances that. Like I
Right.
really like wood jewelry because you can get really big without being heavy. And I
Mm-hmm.
have quite a few. You know, I like materials too, but
No,
you can only do
and
what
I
you can
do,
do.
and I think that's one of the reasons when I first started working with skateboards and wood in general, I wanted you to feel the natural feel of the material.
Hmm.
I didn't want to hide it.
No, I love that. I know.
So
I know.
I'm
I'm like,
like,
can you try more stuff on for us and go back to those bins? And I want to see some more big. You were showing us
so
a little bit of these big gold stripe board. I know the gold stripe board has like a Liechtenstein
yeah. So
that
so
feel to
as
me.
far as so this is one of the pieces
Inside.
that talks about the circle as well.
Oh, ooh, I like
So
this. So this I really like because you did the bar system for the
mhm.
hinges of the chain, and that's going to mimic really nice with the way you're going to do the finding for the new post.
So it also creates the square. So I like the duality of the shapes, like you were talking about, Megan. So it again talks about that play on geometry, talks the play on colorway, and then it just tells a
Mm.
color story
I
based on
love
the
the
play.
green with that bit of green with the pink kind of. Like, what's the
And
other
I
side?
like
Is there a double side to that one?
yes. I'm connected. Hold tight.
I know.
I know. Here we go. And then if you look at the other side, it's got
Much
a
more
nat.
neutral.
Mm-hmm. So and this actually has a little bit of a walnut grain. I don't know if you can kind of see it.
Mm-hmm. I can see it. I love that. Very.
Very subtle. So
Yeah, but
I always tell
really
people some of
nice.
these necklaces are like, you get like something very serious on one side and very playful on the other. And
Oh,
so
I
a lot of my
love.
clients who wear colors and stripes and things like that and patterns, they can wear one versus the other side and they can wear it on different outfits.
Yeah, or they can like pattern mix. I feel like a lot of your customers will pattern mix because
Yeah.
they'll wear lots of. They're like a pattern mixer already, and they're
Yeah.
gonna add this on top because they're attracted to color.
Yeah, one of the things that I don't have on the right shirt for this is, this actually I don't get a lot of boards that have gold.
Ooh, oh, okay. Because could you add gold just as like I don't know an idea? Because
So
I love gold.
this
I
these
love
are
gold.
cufflinks. Everybody
Oh,
loves a dress shirt.
yeah,
And so what's nice about
sparkly.
these is it's always amazing to me because I miss I miss you too, Ashley. I just was saying miss.
Oh, I know. I'm like, I love all you guys.
Like, I got thrown
And
off.
there's Karen. Karen, my good
Hi,
friend I grew up
Karen.
with, who has
And
multiple pieces
so
of your work.
she's so sweet. And so one of the things I was
Yes.
saying about the cufflinks and the screen print is because skateboards are screen printed graphics, it's very interesting to me when you get metallics like this.
Yeah,
Because
is that
they
a
just,
screen print? Is that like a? I think it's a safety. I feel it's like safer to have that.
I mean,
Honestly.
it's amazing.
Wait, so how do they do that? Is that a screen printed process to get
I
that gold
don't know
on there, or is that another kind of?
I don't know the exact industrial process, like the actual technique, but I do know that it is a screen print, and I wanted to actually call one of the board companies that I could actually find out how that worked.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
I
can.
love research, right?
Yeah. And then
Ooh!
this yellow.
Okay, the yellow is so pretty. Oh my god.
I know. And again, it's like just a nice little touch of, color for your shirt. Like if you're wearing a gray striped shirt.
I thought, oh, really cute with gray striped.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really cute. I like that pot, like really almost neon lime, lemon.
Bingo. I just picked that up. So let's see. Here we go. So this one.
Like, try on for us.
So this.
I mean, you can't try on the cufflinks. I get it, but
no, I know. This is the tall.
But the neck pieces, you have some incredible. Oh yeah, this is great. And this has a really. You're talking. This is geometry.
Yeah, and this has the line. Has the line mimicking the line. So on this one.
Glowing. I'm like, what? We talked earlier about serums, Karen.
We did.
The other person I talked to about serums. A lot.
And so this is another version that we were talking about with the wire. So this is the cord. So this is a cord wire with a dime cut. If I could, of course, y'all are watching me do this.
I know.
Ashley, he just
no pressure. I know I heard Rick too.
Yeah.
No pressure.
So,
yes. Okay.
So
in the bottom of that is just a neutral.
So this is
wood.
like a laminate of burgundy with a little bit of mustard yellow, And so this is the wire. So this is a cord cut. This is a cord cut with the third at the bottom, and then this is a dime cut. So this is a cord dime
what's
hoop.
the cord cut thing you're talking about at the top?
So whenever you talk about the math of a circle, there's certain ways you can cut it. And so if you talk about the math, you no, they're not here. They're not heavy at all, Karen.
I don't know if puppies are allowed next to machinery.
Puppies?
Yeah, Martha was asking about your puppies.
No, Roxanne's in the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, dogs and like so many
Roxanne's
things.
No, Roxanne's not allowed in the wood shop.
They eat all that stuff.
But what I was saying is, when I do the math of a circle, when you start talking about cutting a circle, you can cut the diameter. You can cut like an arc, right? And you can also cut what's called a chord. And a chord is any one point that connects to another at any line across the circle. Oh, okay. And so when I delved into researching the circle 2 years ago, and I was like, why don't you like the circle? And what's wrong with you, Tara? You know, and like I went through that whole math. And I said, well, let's start. No,
it's too normal. You were like
exactly
rejected. It's like doing heart jewelry.
Exactly. So I was like, let me start at the beginning. And so when I am learning something or trying to research something, I research the literalness of a circle. That's just how I'm built, I think. And so then I had a lot of fun time, you know, going down the rabbit hole. And then I gave myself rules because I love rules. Otherwise, I would be all over the place in the studio. And rules
we talked about this before because I feel like having a rubric is a really strong way to start with design.
Right.
Or giving yourself a set of rubric or creating a standard for each, especially if you're designing different types of collections and multiple collections.
Right.
You have to go within this feeling or aesthetic or technique or material, etc.
It's true. And for me, because when I was learning, my mind would move way faster than my hands. And so I needed to figure out how to not get frustrated all the time and also create a system that worked for me. And so rules became my friend, and a very dear friend of mine who was a mentor at a really young age, Amy Tavern, I assisted her in a chain making workshop, and she talked about her rules. And I literally was like, this is it. And it makes so much sense. Because once you master that one set of rules, you then can go outside of the box, right? You then can like go outside of the lines. And so I definitely have followed that pattern ever since I started making jewelry. And it brings me lots of joy, you know, because then I have like, I can get making work really quick. I can have I get a system in place, and then I just go to town. Now my sketchbook is different. Because then I can just sketch, you know, I can just.
It's loosey-goosey. Well, because I feel this, I feel like a lot of people feel this, jewelry making is slow. It is not an immediate process. It's not sculpture in multi-month, but it is not something you could whip out in 20 minutes necessarily. Right. So having the ability to know your boundaries in time, in terms of time, is really important to then give you this, to focus you down to what's really important. So using the sketchbook as a way to have the freedom, the immediacy in a way.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what, you know, when we got back to talking about like the launch that's going to be happening on May 1st is, you know, having those rules. I've always had the rule of like, you're always going to release your new pieces at a craft show. And so why not change that rule? And now the release will always be online, which everybody that signed in, this is the first time I've talked about it, you know, other than with Megan. Megan's the only other person that knows. And
I was like, excellent idea.
And it should have happened a long time ago, you know.
I know, all of these things should have happened a long time ago. We have been integrating, I think, virtual and technology, everybody, multi-generational, right? But now we've had to accelerate that, so that's kind of been a learning process. So better late than never. And
no, it's true. It's like, we might as well do it now. No need to live in the past, you know. It's like, let's get to it right now, you know.
Yeah. So, and I feel like this is great. So you're gonna have it on your website, and are you gonna do like email listings on? Yeah. So is it gonna be on your Instagram?
Correct. So there'll be a multitude of platforms because I'm gonna do a formal announcement on my newsletter, and it'll go out. So for those of you that want to sign up on the newsletter, it'll be actually listed probably around April 23rd to 24th. So that way it'll be everybody on the email will have it launched. And then it'll go live online as far as like promo shots and sneak peeks and process. And I'll introduce a different color each day and a variation starting May 1st up until May 7th.
I know. Okay, so Karen asked a really good question. Have you seen your creativity intensifying during this period?
I would say, Karen, the first 2 weeks when the pandemic started, I was very paralyzed. I was paralyzed creatively. I was paralyzed financially, and I felt like I was very much at a standstill in my mind because I didn't know what to do because it was happening so quick, so fast, and out of my control. And then about the second week, I finally had like, you know, my anxiety dreams stopped and I stopped having panic attacks. And it just kind of came like a light bulb. I started sketching. I started thinking about things that I really hadn't allowed myself to think about before the pandemic and like just getting ready for shows. So I had this moment of clarity. And now it's kind of been like, I'm like, I have to work. I have to draw. I have to have a plan. I need to take some photos. Like everything is just kind of like, here we go, here we go. And I feel like the pandemic in some ways gave me the opportunity to take a breath. And I think some of us, unless you're forced to do that, it's really hard.
It's the whole world is taking a breath.
Exactly. And it's not great. Is it great? No, not all the time.
It was forced upon us, but change is never something we seek out necessarily. So I think how you roll with the punches and adapt to it is really important. I think it's really hard. And I think there should be no pressure to do anything.
Correct.
Also, I'm not activating, and I'm not trying to like advocate any of this super crazy, like learn a new thing. But I do think making sure you are aware of what's happening and taking action to take care of yourself is one of the most monumental things you can do right now. And part of that for us is to make jewelry.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Megan and I have also talked about personally is, you know, when you're in a field of craft shows specifically, you know, and you're creating work constantly, and I can only speak for what I know because that's what I do, you know, and Megan and I share that, and you know,
I do that, and I do a million other things.
But you do so many other things. That's what I mean.
But I feel like I love the connection with customers that we're able to achieve, and it's the immediacy of doing these craft shows. And, another good question. Do you have a set schedule for yourself?
Yes. So
me too. Totally.
So, and so what I was saying is it's like right now when I was having all those in the very beginning, when I was having all the panic attacks and all of the anxieties, you know, I finally was like, you're not healthy. You're really freaking yourself out. You're not sleeping. You know, and so I just kind of said, I need my routine, whatever that is. And so now I have a set schedule. I get up, I make my coffee, I attend to my dog, I have breakfast with my husband, you know, and then I go into my office. And for the past 2 weeks, my schedule has changed. I actually tend to my Instagram. I tend to my emails. I try to take photos. I try to edit photos. I'm spending more time curating and creating what I want to put out.
I'm spending more time in my creativity in the 2D world than in the 3D world.
Right.
Is how I'm seeing this, but I'm still I'm trying to still use my design sensibilities to put things out there that are representative of what my whole brand is about, what my all my work is about. And I think you're trying to do the same.
You're working on your holistic vision.
Totally.
Yeah.
And also trying to adapt everything and still trying to have these in-person or replicate some of these in-person experiences in these virtual ways. Right?
It's true. It's, you know, it's like, you know, one of the things Mia just said about the meditation, I started meditating as well. And so, you know, meditation for me has become something that I never allowed myself to take time to do. And so I don't know, in a lot of ways, I didn't realize how much I wasn't taking care of the things I needed to take care of in order to move forward. Like whatever that vision looked like for my business, my home, you know, my studio practice, you know, my garden, my outside. So
your priorities have changed.
Correct. 100%.
Because certain things are not even possibility anymore to even do.
Nope. which is why I think, you know, it's very critical. I've told you before, like this platform that you've created for so many people to be able to have an opportunity to talk about things that are going on creatively, fun things, things that, you know, make you smile.
We need to have some joy. Like, this is a moment to take
this
find
is
some
incredible.
of that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, and you know,
and also I love sharing your story because you have, there's all these little facets in there, and we need to dig down into them. Like the post design, I needed to see that. Like,
it's true.
I have to see that in person to understand what you're talking about.
Well, and it's true. I think the thing that what it all boils down to is all of this and all of these changes, and I find myself more creative, whether that's in a 3D or whether it's in my home life or whether it's just, I find that I have become more creative with connecting.
Yeah, totally. Wait, can you show us a little bit more? Because I want to see some more jewelry. Speaking of color.
Yeah,
because you also have been posting a ton online, and I'm seeing it sell out. So I'm kind of like, oh, because it is one of a kind. Ooh.
Yeah.
You have a whole display. Yes.
So let me switch you around. Okay, so we've talked a lot about what's going on here. These are the classic hoops. These are the arc hoops. These are the tall ones.
Okay, this is kind of more oval shape. This is where you started?
Yes, this is the first one of its size. And then, of course, it comes in the tall. I'm short, so this is a Terra size.
Yeah, more wide than long?
Correct. Because I definitely do more well with that. This is also a really great iteration of the circle in a pen form.
Oh, I love that. And I totally understand what you're saying now about the crosscuts.
Mm-hmm. And so I just love, because then it took it away from being like such a finite circle to being something that could be.
Also, I'm obsessed with wearing it right there.
Yeah, I love wearing pins right here.
I love that. Do you have them attached to chains ever, like convertible?
I do. So
like how do you work that? Because that's a whole thing that it's hard to make that look to work. And Laura Wood shared with me like a really great way that she does it. I think everybody has their own way.
So I do a tube version. So whenever I do a two-stemmed brooch, it actually gets a tube connection that goes on a chain. And then if I actually do a scatter pin, there's actually 2 circles that are measured out for each scatter pin that slide onto the posts. Hold on.
So cute.
Let me get my phone out of my hands. So, wrong way.
So you can show me. Yeah, show me, because I would love this.
So usually after these are made, because it actually has to be made secondary. So when these are being in the process of being drilled out and mounted, meaning these parts, so I'll take and measure the math between here to here. And I'll make what kind of looks like a double-ended eye pin, right?
Okay, totally.
And then there's a chain that gets soldered onto the back. So then the way it gets held on is you put these back in place.
Yeah. Okay.
And it holds the connection on for you.
I have new pin backs to share with you. So I'm going to show you next time.
Yeah.
Next time I'm going to show you I'm working on pins right now.
Oh, cool.
It hasn't happened since the pins I made for Bob. Oh, really? 9 years ago.
This is exciting. This is exciting.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like the thing about what, Laura mentioned, and I agree, versatility in jewelry is important. People need to be able to, people are going to wear it how they want, right? Just like your friend said, I was tuning in last Thursday when Michael was talking about like the versatility.
Brilliant.
And it's true, because
brilliant at finding diversity.
And people are going to wear their jewelry however they like. Whether you wear an earring as a hat pin, whether you wear an earring as like a single, tie tack pin.
Okay, I'm obsessed with jewelry that's woven into your hair. Was this the Oscars that they had the diamond diadem?
Yes. Have you seen Tracy Lee Ross? Tracy Lee Ross. Ooh, yeah.
Okay, Tracy Lee Ross, anything
is amazing.
I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, totally.
She's amazing, and she's so lovely. But there was another woman who had a Tiffany that was, it was because Tracy does it also with like little hoops all throughout, and she does jewelry all in her hair. She has great hair. So she does her hair and all these amazing things. This is great.
Yeah,
Okay,
these are
show us. That looks great on the back.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put these on for you because these are the prototypes of this one as well.
I know. I'm gonna show everybody this one too because I was like, I showed everybody this cool thing, but I was gonna show people. I was noticing when I put this one on from Leah. Oh, those are so pretty. I like how you made them reflected.
Yeah, so they kind of swing, and then the finding itself mimics the art.
Okay, Johnny, I love it. I am here for it. Yes, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. That's amazing. Oh, hi, Francesca. This is from Leah. Look, we're trying on jewelry.
Oh, let's see how. Yeah, and this is
because okay. I was thinking about connections. I realized she put a clasp here and a clasp here, so it's a bracelet. I just realized it's a bracelet.
Just now? That's awesome.
Well, really smart. You can wear it as a bracelet.
That's really awesome.
Leah is that person.
But Leah's work is just like her. It's very playful. It's very fun and colorful.
She's great.
Her sense of humor is pretty much in there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's great. Okay, so show us some more. I like the connection we're doing with that.
And this is the new, the same thing. This is the diamond, the cord, triple dime pendant. And
explain the material on the left side. What is that stuff?
So this is actually called Durat. So this is recycled plastic countertops. It's post-consumer plastic. It's in a eco-friendly resin. So when I carve it, it turns into powder. And so, and this is cherry. It's a little piece of cherry wood. And then this is the skateboard. And so I wanted to just tell a color story. And then it's reversible as well.
Oh, the little blue with that orangey burnt cinnamon. What is that?
It's pumpkin? I call it like cinnabar.
Yeah.
And then it's really nice and short because then the weight of it kind of.
I can almost see that as a choker also. 1990s. Remember this?
Oh yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I like the mix too. Also, I have to tell you, the Durat has a really smooth feel. It feels nice on the skin. I want fake pearls of that.
Oh,
like
sure.
Marbles of that.
That's easy, and I'll show you. I can bring more of it in here. So this is where I keep it.
Ooh! I didn't sweet it. Ooh! I've never seen this.
So when you
that's
look
a beautiful color.
All the offcuts, you can kind of see I cut it just like wood. And
wait, do you use a special rotary tool for this?
No, I actually use just all my woodworking tools.
Oh, okay. So it feels like little cuts of marble in a way.
Yeah, this is the samples it comes in. So this is called a Durat 080. And so it tells you the colorways. And then I also get them in sample. I love their packaging.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so I can get all these samples. And it kind of lets me see.
They look like birthday cake.
So I actually call this, anything that has the speckles, birthday party mix. So totally. That's exactly what I call it.
I'm right there with you.
Yep. And what's really cool is the same company that I work with, I get this material called gator skins, and this is what skate ramps are made out of.
What do you use that for?
Whatever I feel like. I'm just going to start designing with it. I love that moss green color.
Yeah, it has almost a marble feel as well, or like a tie-dye, kind of tie-dye or something.
Exactly. So I love the materiality of it. So this is also a material that I'm on sample program with. It's called
flooring.
It's called Gias. It's called Kosikin, and it is their own version.
I'm here for everybody with wine.
All right, Georgina, we got you, girl.
Wait. Hold on. What was that? More hexagonal? Was that actually flooring material?
Yeah. So this is a company that does countertops and wall claddings. And so this is all cladding for like cabinets, walls, and this is their own version of their eco-friendly.
It's double-sided too?
Yes.
That is so cool. That's perfect. That's amazing.
And it actually has like
so well with all your work.
Can you hear that? It has a texture.
I can see it. It feels that's going to be very interesting. I'm really curious to see how you're going to facet that.
This is another wall cladding that they do. It's bamboo.
Okay, that's gorgeous. Okay, bamboo. I highly recommend you work with bamboo because it's pretty.
Yeah. So
Selfishly, I
this
want
is
you
like
to work
my
with
little
bamboo.
treasure trove of wall claddings.
What the heck? What amazing shapes.
Yeah, so the company is called Cara Green. They're out of Raleigh,
Whoa.
North Carolina.
Oh, they're local to you.
And so about 5 years ago, I was invited along with Laura Wood and Emily Rogstad to do
nice.
we were invited to make work out of the materials that they carried at their store. And so they took it to a home design show in Dallas. And ever since then, I fell in such love with the material that I said that I wanted to keep using it. And so they've had me on the sample program since then.
Oh, so what we explain the sample program. We only have about 2 more minutes, just let you know. Okay, explain how you work on a sample. They send you because you do this with your skateboards, how you source in a way.
So my skateboards, there's 2 things. So my skateboards are actually from skate shops that I've been working with, one since the inception of my work in 2011. And they are strictly broken. So everything is non-functioning skateboards. So anything that I use cannot be ridden. That way it always ensures that there's a free box.
They've been shredded.
So a lot of times at all skate shops, they have what's called a free box. And so if you actually break your board, you just go in and you pick one up. And one of the things that I do is for every box of broken boards that I pick up, I buy a skateboard and donate it back to the shop. And then they use it in any way, shape that they want for the community. So I just buy anywhere, 2 to 5.
I love that. Do you put that on your website? Can you please talk about that more? That's amazing.
So it's something that I started quietly just because I wanted for so long to give back. And they were skateboarding is such an amazing community.
It is a community.
And they are like, we don't want anything. We just want you to make cool things. And so then I basically was like, this is what I'm going to do. And it's great because now when I go into the shop, a couple of the young writers follow me on Instagram and they're like,
they're probably writing the boards that you donated.
And they send me photos. And so it's this really sweet connection that I get to have with them and just kind of give back to my community in that way. And then as far as the sample program with the Durat and all of the cladding, I go into the warehouse and I've been very fortunate to be able to work with them. And they're so curious to see what I make that we have this joint respect for one another that we just talk for hours. They show me what they've been making. I get offcuts and samples because they're so small.
You just need a little touch of something,
And I also, since we bought our house and renovated it, I was able to actually use a material called paper stone, recycled paper for our countertops that they actually sell and have at their store. So I felt good by able to purchase back all the things that they had done. And also,
I feel like you're doing great advertising for them right now.
So this is some paper stone right in here. I don't know if you can see that black.
Did you keep some of those offcuts too for maybe some potential pieces? Okay,
yes,
cool.
I use it in my work. And I was trying to actually find...
Okay, just show people that all of those skateboards for a hot minute before we go.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Oh. So pretty. I love materials and bins. Bins of materials.
The bins, I always think of you, Megan.
Oh, I have bins, 18 foot ceilings with bins up to the ceiling.
I know.
I love materials. Yeah.
Well,
I think we're good. Tara, it's always a pleasure and way too short. Stay tuned, Johnny, for our reality project runway baking competition jewelry making show in the future.
Yep. Okay. And I'll be telling you more, and we'll be releasing more about the collection coming out on May 1st.
Ooh, stay tuned, you guys. And get on your email list for first
dibs.
Awesome. For 7 pieces coming May 1 and then dropping May 7.
Correct.
Tara, thank you, darling.
Thank you, love.
Have a great one, you guys.
Bye,
Happy Wednesday.